The ultimate question yet unanswered, are we alone in the universe? A Harvard astronomer theorizes it's possible we are not. In his new book, Harvard professor Avi Loeb lays out his controversial theory that our solar system has been visited by a piece of extraterrestrial technology or debris from a distant alien civilization. This object was first spotted in 2017 by a telescope in Hawaii, where it got its nickname, Oumuamua, Hawaiian for scout. Its unusual speed and trajectory didn't have any markings of traditional asteroids or comets, stumping astronomers. He's written several books and hundreds of academic papers on topics like the early days of the universe, black holes, and the search for extraterrestrial life. He's collaborated on projects with Stephen Hawking and chaired Harvard's astronomy department for almost a decade, serving longer than anyone in the department's history. Now he's the author of Extraterrestrial, the first sign of intelligent life beyond Earth. Astrophysicist and astronomer Avi Loeb joins me now to state his case. Dr. Loeb, welcome back. What happened in 2017?
Well, thanks for having me. In 2017, October, we spotted an object that came from outside the solar system close to Earth, and it was really the very first one that we encountered. And at first, astronomers thought it must be a comet. However, it didn't show any cometary tail. There was no gas around it. And then it also exhibited an extra push away from the sun. But without a cometary tail, there is no rocket effect. And the question was, what gives it this extra push? As it was tumbling, it looked as if the object has an extreme geometry, most likely flat and much longer than it is wide, at least by a factor of 10. And it also came from a very special frame, the one that is obtained by averaging the motions of all the stars near the sun. So it was just like a buoy sitting on the surface of the ocean, and the solar system bumped into it. And we looked at many possible explanations for these anomalies, and I concluded that it may well be an artificial object, something produced by another civilization.
There are a number of images in the book, which, by the way, I've read and enjoyed, and one of them shows an artist's impression of Oumuamua as a light sail. Can we put this up, Catherine, alongside a conventional rendering of the object as an oblong, cigar-shaped rock? Tell me what we're looking at in that image as we put it on the screen.
Right. So the object exhibited an extra push away from the sun that behaved just like a light sail, in the sense that the extra push declined with distance inversely as distance squared. And it's just the force of light bouncing off its surface, pushing it. In September 2020, we discovered another object that behaved just like that, with no cometary tail and showing the push from reflecting sunlight. It turned out to be a rocket booster from a 1966 Lunar Lander Surveyor 2 mission. And so we know that we produced the rocket booster ourselves. It's artificial in origin. We don't know who produced Oumuamua.
You say in the book that many of your brethren disagree with you. In part, you attribute that they think it was a comet, and you attribute their conservatism, for lack of a better word, to this idea that they need to always be discreet because otherwise the reputation of professionals could be harmed. First of all, did I state that correctly? And second of all, what has been the impact to your image as coming out and saying, hey, I think we've been visited?
Yeah, so I view science as maintaining my childhood curiosity. Basically, we wonder about the world, we try to figure it out, and that implies that we should be willing to take risks and make mistakes. It's not about ourselves, it's a dialogue with nature through evidence, guided by the clues that we discover. And unfortunately, many of my colleagues worry about their image and also maintaining their comfort zone. And you know, if you were to present a cell phone to a caveman that played with rocks all of his life, the caveman would think of the cell phone as a polished, shiny rock. And so it's quite natural to stick to old ideas, but I don't find it speculative at all to imagine that we are not the smartest kid on the block.
Dr. Loeb, the book is great. Thank you for writing it.
Thank you for inviting me.
Let's check in on your tweets and Facebook comments from the world of Twitter. What do we have? You know it's bad when I'm praying for an alien invasion from outer space as a means to bring our country together. Hey, Michael, here's an interesting question. Do we want them to be religious? Think about it. If there is a them, if we've been visited by some intelligent life from beyond Earth, would we want them to be people of faith? Think about that during the course of the weekend.